Hey everybody, this is Mouthful Roundtable Part 2. Again, Mouthful Roundtable is a new segment that we're working on discussing working careers of emerging creatives and entrepreneurs from different industries around the world. Today, we're back on music producers and we have Keith on the track, we have Ray Vaughn, we have Franchise Did It, and we got Lujia made the beat. And again, we're hosting with my co-host Star. Star, how's everybody
Hey,
doing?
How you doing?
Good, we
Feels
good, we
good.
good, we good.
I'm sure most of everybody know Lil Ju franchise, Keith, Raven. I'm pretty sure they know everybody, but we want everybody to introduce yourself.
Go ahead, Ju.
All right. I'm Luigi made the beat. I'm a producer from Dallas. Y'all might know me as, and if the beat live, you know Lil Ju made it.
Hey.
I got a little work, a little motion, you know what I'm saying? So trying to get it.
Franchise did it. Producer from Dallas. Got a little motion same way. Part of the same group with Lil Ju. Boom Squad.
hey, shout out Boom Squad.
You know it. You know it.
Trying to come up in the world.
Keith, producer. Keith's on the track from Dallas. Consistently working, That's it.
Cool, what's going on, y'all? This is Ray Vaughn, aka Vaughn Levi, music producer, DJ, public speaker, and youth mentor. Yeah, I'm out here trying to get this work too. Let's get it in.
Let's get it, man.
So
Yeah, we all trying to eat. Shit.
All right, so I got an icebreaker question for y'all. It's just a fun little question before we start to get the ice going. If you're stuck in a room and the only way to escape is to make a top Billboard hit, what artists are you calling who you've already worked with?
I mean, that's probably no brainer for me, but Megan for sure. That's what we just gonna do it like that.
I'm calling Rocky.
ASAP.
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP. Okay. We got Meg the Stallion, ASAP. Who else?
Go ahead, Ray Vaughn. I'll let you have it.
Yeah, I'm calling Uzi. You know what I'm saying? I did some work with
Uzi.
Uzi. I'm
Okay.
definitely calling Uzi.
Uzi.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't
Okay,
gonna
so
lie.
we got some.
I ain't gonna lie. I probably call Mo3 if he was here.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can't
Already.
lie. I can't lie.
R.I.P. man.
And we do want to send our condolences to young Dolph as well.
For
We
sure.
just got the news, so we just
Prayers to the
wanna-
God for sure.
family, friends, everybody. That's tragic. Like the way people move today is crazy.
Right.
He had a family, just getting some cookies. That's crazy. Yeah. So our first question is, what exactly is a music producer? A lot of people are confused about like beat maker versus a producer. Is it the same thing? Is it different? Like, what all do you guys do?
A beat maker and a producer. A producer literally like orchestrates the whole song. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as you don't necessarily have to make beats to be a producer, but beat making is part of producing. You produce like the track, but an actual producer is someone who is cultivating the whole record in the studio with the artist, helping them come up with the flow, sometimes maybe the words, you know what I'm saying? Just like what a director is to a movie, that's what a producer is essentially to a song.
Right.
So
Yeah. Like Pharrell Williams, you know what I'm saying? He's a music producer. He cultivates the whole record, hook, bridge, change this, arrange it. That. He don't play any keys or play any drums, but he's a producer, you know what I mean? A beat maker, I mean, they're kind of all the same. My son could be a beat maker, just making a beat and just sending it through an email. But like Ju said, I think they all kind of in the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say same thing. Yeah, producer's the pilot. We're gonna take them from a raw idea to a whole song that's gonna potentially go to a bigger artist or on the radio. So the producer cultivates the entire idea from the getting the right writers in the room and getting the right producers. If the producer doesn't make beats, he'll get the right beat makers in the room to get them to collaborate to create the whole entire body of work, which could be a song or album, either way.
Yeah.
So it's basically the brain behind the music creation.
And do you guys, I know Julian, you played in the band, Keith, I think you played the drums. Like, do you have to know how to play an instrument in order to become a successful producer? Or can you just kind of go with the flow without, learning music or knowing how to play an instrument?
Nowadays, no, you just gotta know your way around a computer. If you know how to get something to loop up real good, yeah, you'll be all right. And you gotta have a good ear.
Make it easier.
Yeah, it make it easier for sure.
Your musical inclinations will help you navigate around whatever program you're using better, but you don't have to do it because really at this point it's all swag. So it's really what sound good.
That's
But
right.
you gotta be musically inclined for it to sound good. Like you have to not necessarily know music, but be musically inclined.
Yeah,
that's right. I say
you gotta know what works.
Yeah, you're right. And I say it's a guy from Dallas. His name is Sean on the beat. He doesn't know how to play or anything, but he knows how to make the music sound right, if that makes sense. You know how to put it together. So I don't think you have to know an instrument at all,
Yeah. As long as your ear is dangerous, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So y'all all have that ear, but what's some challenges that y'all have found? Producing, what's some of the challenges?
Having too many sounds.
Okay.
Yeah, too much variety definitely stifles the creation sometimes, because especially when it comes to drums, you could be going through the same snare pack for hours trying to find the right snare when it's probably already there in front of you. So just having the right sound selection for sure.
And trying not to overcomplicate the beats, trying to put too many sounds, trying to do too many.
Right.
That's really simple. When you're a producer, your job is really to make a musical bed. And when people do commercials, the music behind that's a music bed. That's what you're supposed to be making as a producer. So,
okay. So speaking of the sound, when we interviewed Vaughn, we asked what sound he's into right now, what's going on. And I learned about drill music, right? So Pop Smoke, RIP to Pop. I didn't know it was called drill music. So what would you call y'all sound that you have? Is there a name for it, or what would you describe it as?
I mean, for me personally, I don't really have a sound. I listen to a lot of genres of music. So, I've had pop records, I listen to everything. So I don't think it's a particular sound. I think it's more of a feeling, how it make you feel. Like when you hear Lil Ju play for Megan, it's a feeling my wife get, you know what I'm saying? Or it may be a feeling you get. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really
we all know how Lil Ju make us feel on a beat.
Yeah. So you can't really call that a sound, or what I have a sound, or Ray Run a sound, or you know what I mean? You have to, it's just a feeling, I think,
Absolutely. So how long does it usually take you guys to create a beat, and how many beats do you guys create a day?
We want to just go in order and everybody say it.
Yeah,
all right. Beat could take anywhere from 3, 4, 5 minutes to 3, 4, 5 hours to 3, 4, 5 days to 3, 4, 5 months. It just depends. You might make a beat in January and then randomly open that session in December and I'm just be re-inspired. But I'd say on average, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to cultivate the beat, and then maybe 20 minutes maybe to mix it and bring it all together at once. So I say 30 minutes, 35 minutes, maybe an hour.
Agreed.
Yeah, same over here. My mentor told me, if you can't get the vibe right in 15 minutes, move to the next thing. So I try to knock out a feeling within 15 minutes and then do the mixing and all that other stuff later on.
So then what songs have y'all touched that you like just super stupid proud of? Like, I did that, that's the one that hits. Every time you hear it, you like, this is the one. Do y'all have one like that?
For me, it's Big Old Freak because I had made that beat like way before I met Megan.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to that beat all the time, and I knew from the first time I made that beat, I'm like, this beat is a hit. Like this beat literally is a hit.
And you have a sample, right?
Yes, it's 2 samples in Big Old Freak.
Immature, or am I wrong?
No, you're right. Immature.
Okay.
Is It Love This Time by Immature, and I also sampled the bass line from Night and Day by Al B. Sure.
You know what's crazy? That those 2 samples, like, they work regardless of the time. So
yeah,
like, shout out to you for making that. Like, it was definitely a go. Cause I know that song "Lighters on My Dresser" has the same bass line too.
Yep, for sure. But they remade the whole Night and Day. Like the whole Night and Day track, I literally just used the bass line only. But like you said, that's one of those bass lines that like your mother knows what that bass line is. You know what I'm saying? Your grandmother knows what that bass line is. And then now the kids now know what that bass line is. So it just, you know, goes hand in hand.
Right.
So what inspires you guys to make these beats? Like, what gets you going? Like, do you get inspiration from outside of the studio, inside? You know, how do you get inspired to make beats like that?
Just living.
Yeah.
Living life, hearing music.
That's how I wake up.
Yeah, like sometimes I could be going through vinyls. I catch a vibe with the vinyl, loop it up, try to finesse it. But it's really just life. I think most producers and artists, in order to make the best music, they have to experience something, and through the music, we create that experience.
Mm-hmm. It's like coloring almost. You know, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Rappers or some artists may think it's hard, but I mean easy, but it's not as easy as people think to pull this out of your brain and put it on a canvas. You know what I mean? So for me, I think as well, like, it's living. I like to ride 4-wheelers. I might ride 4-wheelers and come in and make this kind of beat up. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of, you know, going through everyday life, I think.
Word. I be bird watching. I just be watching different birds. I'm like, yo, like trying to catch nature.
Catch a vibe. Yeah.
So I'm still learning more about y'all. And I just love like the resumes that each one of y'all have. Do y'all want to dabble or, you know, drift into different genres? Because some of y'all mentioned you like listening to just different genres, but, you know, working with different artists in the future, different genres.
Oh yeah, nah, definitely. I'm already dabbling now. I just did a song with a pop girl named Princess Nokia that just dropped recently.
What was that like on the pop level?
It was cool, but they really wanted like my sound mixed with the pop. You know what I'm saying? So it was pop, but less pop.
Okay.
I want to dig into country. Yeah, no, big ups to you, bro. I want to dig into like the country. You know, right now they got that country twang, you know, kind of going on with kind of the trap drums. I want to dig into that. You know what I mean? I think that's dope. I done picked up the guitar, so I'm not a shredder or nothing like that. I can't play crazy, but I can play a little bit. You know what I mean?
You got some.
I'm tapping into the house music right now. For a long time, what inspired me to get into house music, honestly, was when I looked up house music on Spotify. It was all white artists, and house was created by Black producers in Chicago and Detroit. So now that since Kaytranada won a Grammy off of dance music, now it's the it thing. But for me, just culturally, I think we need to have a little bit more footprint in that space.
True.
And get the accolades for it, because we're probably already there, but to actually get the accolades for all this. Because I mean, even country music, you know, people want to give shout outs to Nelly and stuff and say that they brought that, but it even goes back to that when you think about like Chuck Berry and the sound back in those times, you know.
That's right. Okay, Star. Okay, Star.
Okay, Star. A little bit. Just a little bit.
Julian, I heard you want to work with like Bruno Mars. What inspired Bruno Mars?
Okay, so I'm a real big Michael Jackson fan, and I'm a real big like
Okay, there we go.
swing fan. So I figured out how to make like the Bruno Mars feel type beats. I know how to like make the authentic ones. So I'm really trying to like get to bro for real. Like I know how to make it sound like it's 1992. You know what I'm saying? Like on some.
That's dope. That's dope.
And Teddy Riley.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite producers, literally.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, and another question I have is, what is something you could change about that you want to change about the music industry? Is there something that you don't like that you want to change or that you wish would be better?
Producers got to get paid more. Like,
and faster.
Yep.
You said it faster.
In my experience,
take too long.
We own 50% of the publishing if it's no sample, but on the master, you really only own like if you up there, you can get 5 points. It's a couple producers, you know what I'm saying, like Pharrell or somebody who probably get way more than that.
Yeah, but that's 30 years.
Producer's getting 3 points.
3 points.
Yeah, the average producer's getting 3 points. So that's 3 out of 100. So basically 3% of the master recording of the song. So it's like I feel like we should get way more than that. Like,
hell yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
On the master recording of a song, the label pretty much probably owns 70 or 80% of the whole song in the record, and the artist and the producer get
they split that.
That's right.
Yeah. And y'all doing all the work.
And we don't even
like
split
it, right?
the artist for sure getting 15, 16, 17.
Hell yeah.
Like we only get 3, 4, 5. So
wow.
So it's based off of a point system. Y'all use a point system?
Yeah, for the
basically.
master recording, for publishing on the publishing side, it's split down the middle.
Yes, 50.
Okay. So my thing is, and like we were telling Vaughn, because I'm a high school teacher at DeSoto, by the way. But but I have so many students that, hold on, Miss Ford, I'm trying to make a beat, or I got someone type of deal. And it's like, okay, cool, you have talent, but I want them to know the ins and outs, the legalities. And y'all seem to have that, the point systems, and all of y'all were in cadence with, agreeing what it is. So how did y'all learn the background, the legalities of it, of what to know so y'all didn't get screwed?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta get screwed to learn.
Yeah, for being screwed. Yeah,
okay.
Screwed.
That's the whole game. Like,
yeah.
Like what I was gonna say earlier is like, if there's one thing you could change is the education from the bottom up, because a lot of us are getting into the music industry just to be in front of our favorite artists. Once we get there, what's the next step? And a lot of us don't know that right away. So like, I think there should be some type of mentorship or some type of education program for those who want to get in the game and can learn the rules to the game.
True.
Right.
Wow.
Keith, I want to hear, can you share a little bit on your experience of how you got screwed? You don't have to name names.
Oh, no, it's all good. I mean, I was signed to a local label, and they did a deal with Asylum before Asylum. Asylum came back now, but in the beginning, they did a deal with them, and they kind of screwed the producers out of everything. Me, Choco, he's a producer from Dallas as well. He's incarcerated right now, but it was pretty ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I think me going through that, putting my my everything into one situation, and then coming back from that situation, learning about it, like, okay, I'm supposed to have this, I'm supposed to get this, I'm supposed to get this. I have a tight lawyer now, so I kind of now over time I've learned on my own. I don't just listen to what my lawyer says. I actually let me see the contract. Let me see as well. I'm not just gonna take your word for it. Let me make sure everything is good.
That's a big fact.
So how did you guys get discovered as a music producer working with like a big artist like Meg Thee Stallion, A$AP Rocky, Uzi, Mo3? Like, how did y'all get your first placement within those artists?
Just hanging out in studios.
Yep,
Stars Align kept working.
Yep.
Being in the right place at the right time, networking.
Laws of attraction.
Yeah, manifesting.
Put it out there, you want it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Fact.
You gotta be in them trenches.
Yeah,
But you also actually have to be good at what you do too. Like that's one thing that people don't understand. You got to be really exceptionally good at what you're doing for it to happen for real.
And personable.
Yeah. And likable. Yeah, you're right. Likable. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have a lot of cocky ass producers. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but you have a lot of cocky producers that, you know what I mean? That they just cocky. You know, and some artists don't really drift toward that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to work, be able to, you know, produce and be likable. I think at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? I agree.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, now y'all are in the spotlight, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like in today's generation of producers, y'all have a tagline, right? And we want to know how y'all got your tags. But a lot of times your fans will walk around and say the tag and don't even get to the song.
Get to the song.
It's so catchy. So how does it feel being in the spotlight, knowing they like, oh, that's Keith, that's Lujia, that's Franchise, that's Vaughn? Like, how, like, is that different for y'all? Because usually producers were kind of in the background.
Y'all coming up now. Like, y'all
I like the background. I like the background. I don't like to be seen. That's not me. That's why I got this mask. You go to my Instagram, you see my face. I don't like to be seen. I'm a behind the scenes guy. Okay. I'm not P. Diddy.
And you know, I was going to ask you about your mask too. You know, I was great.
Don't let him make it. I can't call it. Don't let him make it.
I ain't gonna lie. In my mind, I think I'm a rapper. I just don't rap. That's just how I go about. I'm literally a rapper, and I don't rap. I'm trying to get an artist deal. Like I'm trying to be on my, you know what I'm saying, DJ Khaled. Like, not necessarily killing over the track, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to pop out. Like I want everybody to know, and it to be like,
like for me, I need that footprint. So when I go into these schools, they can see that, like, oh, like a real producer is actually pulling up on me, like this to show me the game. So like having that tag and them identifying it just makes it a lot more bigger for their world. It makes it real to them.
Definitely.
Yeah. Nah, that's real. That is real. I look at like Marshmello, the producer, or Daft Punk. Like, you know, you never, like, if you look up Daft Punk, I don't know if y'all familiar with them. But,
Daft Punk.
But you know, they would always go to the Grammys with just, you kind of intrigued by who is under that, man. Like, who is that? So,
you got like that for a while too.
Yeah, but like 7 months ago, if you would have seen my Instagram, you would have been like, oh, Keith, this, you know, I'm just on there. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's about just changing the way. You know, I don't like to be seen, period. I'm a behind the scenes guy.
I got you.
So what do y'all do outside of music producing? What are some hobbies you do? I know I read on Julian, it was an interview that you did with Music Impulse, I think. You're a gamer.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah,
okay. Is there like a hobby outside?
Yes, you could say I'm more so now because I'm a little bit more busy and I be on the go. I would say I'm more of a game collector than I am a gamer because I got all the games and I be buying the stuff all the time, but I don't never have time to play no more. So
I was like, you not the dude that be cussing out the 7th graders over the little microphone.
Oh no! I would say I'm a retro game collector. Like I like N64 and PlayStation 1. I be going back and buying all that stuff because I ain't have it growing up. So I be going back and buying all that stuff now.
That's nostalgia. I like that.
Franchise, what about you? What you do outside of music business?
Let's see. I watch anime. Like that's what I do in my spare time. I watch anime or I go hoop. Outside of that,
making beats. Making beats. Make a lot of beats.
Hey, that's how you be successful. Like, hey, they always say if you want to be good at something, be obsessed with it, and I'm taking it to the grave with me. What about you, Keith and Vaughn? What do y'all do outside of?
I mean, me, I ride 4-wheelers. I got a couple in the garage. I like fast shit. You know what I mean? Fast. That's just me. Yeah, that's just me, man. I got Yamahas. I just like to, you know, go to my neighborhood in the cliff and we'll all link up at the park and just go all around Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of stuff I'm really into. You know what I mean? being a man, you know what I'm saying? Getting dirty, you know, shit like that. Working on cars, you know, little stuff like that. You know, I'm into old school cars as well. So that's my side piece. Yeah, that's my side piece.
For me, the two things. I'm a bird watcher. I'm an avid bird watcher. I live by a trail, so we're looking at Blue Jays, Hawks, Eagles, Cardinals, all types of stuff. And I'm
so
also,
you were for real when you said that earlier.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Okay.
You were for real.
I'm
Okay.
dead bird watcher, like dead serious. And I'm a wingologist. So I'm working on this cinnamon air fried wing recipe that I'm working on. I want to start the first air fried wing food truck in Maryland. So I'm working on those two things right now.
Okay.
Okay.
What's up?
And
What
Vaughn,
else?
Who's you about to say?
I was just saying, Vaughn, I wanted Vaughn to touch on his Building the Beats, the nonprofit organization.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I also am a mentor for a nonprofit organization called Building Beats that provides music programs for youth. We facilitate DJing, music production, podcasting, and music entrepreneurship. I am the facilitator for music entrepreneurship, podcasting, DJing, and music production. I've been there for 4 years. We've been in existence since 2013, and we have workshops in New York City. We're also based in LA and in Maryland, which is where I'm at right now.
Nice. We need that. Love to see it. Definitely leading our youth.
That's crazy.
I had a personal question for Keith. You say you were married?
Yep. I didn't say it, but yeah.
Well, how for the long nights? See, in the long nights in the studio, how do you handle, balance, the married life with studio life? Like, how's that? Does that ever get you?
It don't get me in trouble. It used to, but the house I currently have is pretty nice size. So I got like an in-home studio. So I'm able to kind of maneuver how I want to inside the house. But if I am out, I make sure that I'm respectful to my wife. You know what I mean? Because I got children. I got 5 kids. So gotta make sure that I'm respectful. You know what I'm saying?
Studio life gets you in trouble.
Yeah. You definitely can't. You definitely can't stay out past curfew, shall I say?
Yeah, for sure. I second that.
Yeah. So but it's all good though. It works in my favor though.
Okay. And how many? I don't know if all of you've worked with women in the industry. Of course, Julian has. But I want to know, like, what's the difference working with women in the industry than men in the industry? Is it a difference? Do you like women or men better? Like, not to, compare them, but what is it like working with them?
I think it's no different.
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, the women act
women
like
be a
niggas
little
now.
bit more needy. Women be a little bit more needy as far as just the oversight in the music. Maybe not all of them, but in my experience, it was like they're a little diva-ish, but
them be more meticulous with it too.
Yeah, definitely. My experience, like girls really like thinking about their music for real. Not saying the guys aren't, but like they really like, and guys is like,
for sure. I was gonna. I second that. Here on the East Coast, I feel like women have a better vision of what they actually want from a producer and engineer up front. Men, they just want to get in the studio and rap. But like the women that I've worked with, they'll have an idea. They'll tell me what they need from me, and then we'll try to meet in the middle to figure it out. So I feel like it's a little bit more purpose when I work with women.
That makes sense. We are planners. Some dudes be like, shit, do what you do. They'll be like, wait, what do you want me to do? But a woman will tell you.
True.
So I don't want to be cliche, but when it comes to talking about women in the music industry, then being over sexualized or whatever, like, do you see a shift where if you got bars, if you're doing it, that's just what it is. Your talent is your talent. Or do you think women always have to give that sex appeal? Like, do you think a shift is happening?
I
I think in the mainstream,
But
for what it is now, there's always gonna be that allure of showing more. But because of streaming and just local music being big, depending on where you are, if you got bars, you'll get to where you need to go, but for sure. But I think like the overly sexual content, it's a choice to compared to like what people think it really is.
Yeah.
I heard franchise. It sounds like you were gonna say something.
nah, because I was like, it could and it should, but like I feel like the troll culture on the internet is gonna keep holding on to the misogyny and stuff. So
Which is super
got
corny.
a way to go, but it's
Yeah,
getting there though.
yeah,
Cause there's a lot of hard female rappers like
very.
on the level. Like
Listen, I came up from the time where I was watching rap battles with Lady Luck and all them Remy when they
Remy
was
Ma,
going in
yeah.
on the street. Yeah, so the era.
That's
But
that's still there. If you watch Smack DVD,
yeah.
it's URL now on YouTube. There's
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of women rappers that's going hard.
Yeah. One thing I respect, Ju, with you working with Meg is not only is, she's brains and beauty. And I think that's so dope to see, a rapper that's not corny, that's going in. She sticks true to herself, but also like, nah, I'm getting this degree though too. So big shout out to her.
I used to
Has
be
she
dropping
ever
off at school.
Huh?
I said I used to be dropping off at school sometimes.
I was gonna ask you, like, had she ever
Yeah.
put you on pause? Like, nah, I gotta finish this paper, Ju.
No, definitely. That used to happen all the time.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in 2018, when we first started working, like that's when she was really going on campus and like almost like I feel like she had to go to class like 4 out of 5 days in the week, something like that. So she would be coming straight from school to the studio and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
with her look, she had to wear business casual fit to school some days. So she would come up to the school with business
Wow.
casual.
Right.
What's up?
Just got a button up, then go in the studio going hard. That's funny.
What's up?
Yeah, school to be.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a little challenging question for y'all. Are there any tracks right now that you wish you had a hand in that you like, man, this goes so hard. I wish I had a piece of that. Like, I wish I had a hand in creating that.
I'm gonna say for real happy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And that had a long run.
Yeah, I had a super long run.
Yeah.
I think it's still running though. I still hear it.
Vaughn, Ju, franchise, y'all have one?
That's a
for me,
toughie.
it's a song called Franchise by Travis Scott and Future and Mia.
Mm.
Because
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like if I would have made that, like I would have been out of here. That one number one.
For sure.
And it would have been like a perfect story.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I wish I had hands
So,
in that Drake and Chris Brown record. Cause
Got it.
No guidance.
Yeah, nah, that's-
That was a
yeah,
good
no
one,
guidance. Yeah, when that came out,
Mm.
that was a go.
That was dope. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
yes, yes. Do y'all is Drake one of y'all top artists to work with?
Oh yeah, he number one.
Yeah,
He number one.
number one before number one. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he the one.
Introducer, they pretty much gonna say that. Like,
Oh yeah, that's the streaming
he's-
guy right there. You get with
Yeah,
him,
he
gonna
hot.
stream. Yeah, you gonna win
hot.
big.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
y'all-
like his golden ticket.
Yeah,
Well, we gonna manifest that. Y'all
That's
gonna
nice.
get to work with Drake.
that's right.
Y'all gonna get to work with Drake. And before we
right.
kind of wrap it up, like I just want y'all to tell the people what inspired you guys to become music producers. And I know, this is y'all job and stuff like that, but what truly inspired you guys to become music producers?
I just love music. Like honestly.
yeah.
Like I stumbled across actually making beats, but I just love music. Like I would be doing this even if I wasn't Lujia making beats. I would still be coming home every day making beats because I just love, like I said, I just love music.
Yeah, minus the money, I just the same thing. I just love music. Music has always been that outlet for for me to vent. I used to rap, but I wasn't all that good. But I'm good at making beats. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing. Just the love for it and being around it for such a long time. Like I'm from Queens, so there was music being played in the area every morning on the way to school. So I just gravitated to that.
Oh, same.
What advice would you guys give to aspiring music producers trying to make it out? Like,
Just
Keep
working.
going.
Don't
Keep going.
stop. Don't
Do
stop.
not.
That's the
Yeah.
only thing we can give you. Like literally,
Yeah.
it ain't nothing else.
Not there.
Keep doing.
Keep going, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
get out
gonna
the
happen.
house.
Yeah.
Get out
And
the house.
collaborate with as many artists as possible. Like even no matter where they are in their career, if they're hitting you up, then that means you have another chance to make a start.
That's right. That's right.
Before we go, what's next for y'all in 2022? What are y'all working on? What projects y'all working on? What can we hear from y'all next year, or even the rest of this year? We still have December left.
Oh yeah, Drew, you got it.
I got a lot of stuff about to drop. 2 Chainz gonna drop his album. Wiz and Juicy J got a joint album they about to drop. I got the single on there. Me and Franchise produced one for NLE Chopper that's gonna come out on his album.
Okay.
Ruby Rose gonna drop her album. Me and Franchise got one on there. It's a couple more. I'll be forgetting, but it's a lot.
Big shit. I just finishing up Yellow's album. Hitmaker. I'm working with Hitmaker on Eric Bellinger's album. Mo3's about to drop another album, but I probably shouldn't have told nobody, but he about to drop another album 2022.
Yeah.
And that's it right now. I'm just working.
Yeah, for me, I haven't really been in the industry as much because I've been putting a lot of my time into mentoring. So what I'm doing is just advocating in different states to bring my program to different places just to inspire children all over the globe that's interested in music production.
So
what about you, Franchise? Boom Squad? What's up with the Boom Squad and Franchise?
Outside the stuff Lil Juice said we worked on, I got like a couple songs on YG's new album from the drop. So that's what I've been working on. But outside of that, like me and Ju, we got
a whole bunch of places from the drop.
Let's go. Run that shit up, man. Run it up, man.
Well, blessings to everybody. Blessings to y'all. We hope to see y'all continue to succeed, go far, and get your coins. We're going to hope for y'all to get y'all coins. Because I want that to happen. That's crazy. I couldn't believe it when y'all told me that. It took me for a little bit.
No. We getting paid.
I know you get your coins, but I know you get it. But I want y'all to get more coins because, y'all just as, hey.
Yeah, we just as important as the artists. You're right.
Right. Just as important. If it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't be them. They wouldn't have no hits.
There's not that many people listening to acapellas online. It is some acapella music.
Say that. Say that.
Now, lo-fi is huge, bro. Lo-fi is huge on the internet.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, compared to, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want it to be fair. I guess I should say that. I hope that they figure that part out because that's crazy. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for taking the time out as your busy schedule to come in and chat with us. We appreciate you. Blessings to everybody. Where can they find you at before you guys leave?
Y'all can find me on every social media at Lujia made WDA. So everything. That's my name.
You find me at Franchise Did It on everything.
Keist on the track, DA, like my boy say, you know what I'm saying? Not like Keist, but Keist, you know what I'm saying? DA.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as the Vaughn Levi Story. And make sure to follow Building Beats at Building Beats, spelled the way it sounds.
All right. Make sure y'all follow Mouthful TV on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all of that. Instagram, Mouthful_TV. Make sure y'all tune in for Mouthful Talk Show every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming, and y'all have a great day.
Peace.
Mouthful album gonna drop 2023.
Hey.
Let's go. Let's go.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thank y'all too. Appreciate it.
Safe flight,
you.
safe travels. Y'all be safe.
All right.